And this is Stephanie Sims, the instructional technologist, and she has a few words to say before we begin.
Thank you. Wow, that was a setup. Thank you very much. My name is Stephanie Sims, and I work here at Lady Bird Johnson as the instructional technology specialist. And I just wanted to introduce myself to you, and I do the website for the school. So if you ever need to email me for anything about what you would like to see on the website, please feel free to do so. Thank you very much. Oh, and I was going to mention a little bit about the cyberbullying. For the presentation that they're going to give, they're going to talk about some different websites. And I just wanted to mention, we had these little books in the back that we handed out for you. And towards the back of them, you don't have to turn to it right now, but towards the back of them, it mentions a law called COPPA, C-O-P-P-A, the Child Online Privacy and Protection Act. And what COPPA stands for is to protect your child and your child's information from being bought and sold by these companies. And so many, like Facebook, Instagram, Kik, all of those social media, Instagram as well, I said that one, I'm missing one though, Twitter. All those social media companies say specifically that children under 13 and under may not have accounts with those different websites. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Thank you. Oh. And this is our new parent liaison, Amy Hurley, and she's going to speak to you.
Yes. All right, like you said, my name is Amy Hurley. I started last week at the school here. I'm the parent liaison, so the volunteer form back there is kind of for my information. My goal right now is we have a parent center next door here, is to get that open hopefully in January, have a place for parents to come in, do work, help out with the teachers, copying, things like that, help someone set on field trips maybe. And so we're going to have a room for the parents, and it's kind of a resource as well. There's a computer to use if you need a computer, and there's different community resources, events that are going on in the community, things like that all out in the room there. So if you're interested, like I said, in volunteering, please leave your information. It's not a sign up for sure, but just to let me know that I could contact you to get you maybe in the school to help out in the hallways or things like that. There are current opportunities coming up that I have in place that if you're interested in, you can talk to me about. And then that's about it. I look forward to working with you all and to helping bring the community and the parents into the schools here. Thank you.
Okay, so again, as she said, I'm Rachel Chamberlain. I'm the 6th grade counselor here at Lady Bird. And we just want to welcome you guys. And starting off with maybe why you're here and why you come today. Maybe you have experienced this, cyberbullying or something similar with your child or yourself, or maybe you just want to be prepared in case this ever does come. But whatever reason you've come today, we're very glad that you are here, and we hope that you at least learn one thing today before you leave. We're going to start out with a video, and the video, I'll go ahead and warn you, it is a British video, so it does have kind of a funny accent. But the message is so, I think, powerful for children and parents to see. Many times we protect ourselves out in the real world. We think about locking our doors, and we always tell our kids not to walk alone. But oftentimes we don't think about protecting ourselves online. And really, we unwillingly, children and us as adults, open ourselves up to dangers that are out there, either from strangers, advertisers that can hack and we get the spam mail or our identities, or open it up to predators or even bullying. So it's all kind of connected, cyberbullying and internet safety. So we're going to watch the video, and then we're going to kind of go through some information, and hopefully you will learn something new today, or something helpful. We had sound. instructional technologist come help us. And like we practiced it to make sure the sound was working beforehand.
I don't know, but you can. Let's see.
Would you leave your front door wide open?
No, that's dumb.
No.
No way. That's a silly question.
Shall I take a photo? Yeah, we can show everyone at school.
Would you hang up personal pictures of yourself in a public place for everyone to see?
My mum is like kind of that if it's embarrassing and feel negative.
Would you tell any old person where you lived?
No way.
Silly question.
Hi, Simon here. I've seen some of your pics. I bet you're just as gorgeous in real life.
Hi, it's Becky here. Glad you like them. I'm not sure if my mum and dad would approve though.
Don't you worry about that. You're beautiful. Nothing to be ashamed of.
Would you speak to someone you've never met like they were your best friend?
No, I'll get to know them first.
So what do you look like?
Me? I'm tall, dark hair, blue eyes, 13 years old.
Sounds nice. What school do you go to?
I think it's near yours. You're at Mayville Community, right?
Wow, how did you know that?
I can tell from the school uniform in your pictures.
Very clever.
Yeah, I'm not just a pretty face.
Would you let a stranger take a copy of all of your personal photos?
No. No, that's so silly.
I see you like to go roller skating in the park.
It's fun. I like to hang out there.
When do you go?
After tea at home,
Do you go on your own?
I go out with my mates. I'm old enough to go out where I want.
Would you let just anyone look through your personal things?
No. No way. Silly question. Dumb question.
Okay, let's put this another way. Do you use the internet to talk to your friends?
Sometimes I do, yeah.
Do you have your own personal profile online?
Yes. Yes.
Hi, Simon here. I've seen some of your pics. I bet you're just as gorgeous in real life.
Hi, it's Becky here. Glad you like them.
Do you have people on it as your friends that you don't know?
Sometimes, yeah, I guess so.
Do you have pictures on your profile that you didn't want your parents to see?
Yeah. What is she like?
Can anyone see or change those photos?
Yeah.
can't even see this.
Is it possible for someone to find where you live or go to school?
Yeah. No, not really.
Are you more careful about your safety in the real world than in the online world?
Yeah.
Is it time you changed?
I think you know Simon by now. He wasn't my friend, and he wasn't who he said he was. And I didn't realise what I was getting myself into. I didn't really think about what kind of stuff I was putting in my profiles. My older sister uses the same site, and I was just copying her. I kind of thought it'd be fun. I didn't know that anyone could see what I was posting. Especially the girls at school who could see all that stuff about me. Or that people could find you through simple things like your school name, or chats with mates about coming over to your house. I didn't realise I'd been talking to someone who, well, lied.
Me? I'm tall, dark hair, blue eyes, 13 years old.
I didn't know what I could do about it. I didn't know that on some of these sites you had to find the privacy settings yourself. I didn't even know they existed. Simon would not be here if I'd done things differently. But it's never too late. Now I know there are things I can do. I know it's important to keep my profile private, so only my real friends can see. No more horrible people or weirdos looking at my pics and stuff. I've blocked all them people I don't know from my contacts, because I want to keep going online. And because I thought I was in danger, by pressing this button, it means there'll be no more Simon.
Not use the microphone, so let me know if you can't hear me in the back. Can you hear me, Ms. Durham? Okay. So I think it's really important that you talk to your children about how computers, iPhones, and iPads are, cell phones are like doorways into their bedroom. So if they're posting private photos, if they're posting certain information, that it's just the same thing as you saw in the video, someone walking in there and taking their personal stuff and knowing where they're going to be, okay, like with the check-ins and all of that kind of stuff that they communicate with. I did we're doing these lessons with the students in the classroom as well, and so I went into a 6th grade science class today, and I did a survey asking them some of those questions, and you'd probably be surprised to know that a lot of them say that they do have people on their a lot of them have more than one social media account, such as Instagram, Facebook. A lot of them have people on their accounts that aren't their friends, and a lot of them, report that they do have things posted on there that they wouldn't want their parents to know. Okay, so I'm, trying to communicate to them that how important it is to be as safe online as it is out in the real world. Okay, and that technology is a great thing, but it comes with great responsibility, is what I'm trying to convey to them. So it's important that you talk to your children about that too. So now we'll kind of just go into what cyberbullying is. And we'll kind of move it fast, so we know a lot of people in here want to make it to the band concert. So cyberbullying, like bullying, is when it is over time, and it's kind of an imbalance in power, and it's threatening and harassing, and they're doing things to embarrass or humiliate someone. But the difference with cyberbullying is it is using technology, okay? So such as these accounts, Facebook, Instagram. A lot of the kids now, you know, are using Kick, things that kind of go away. So again, it's the use of information and communication where it's deliberate and it's repeated over time. And so they're using the technology to deliberately, you know, harm another person, and it's repeated. And these are just some of the things that also can count in it that maybe you didn't think about. You know, email is also in that realm because it's still a piece of technology. Instant message, again, you know, we don't always call it IM anymore because they're always coming up with new and new technology, such as they have Kick, Snapchat, lots of different technology and terms and apps are always coming out. So any really social media site that they can communicate back and forth and use. So the differences between bullying and cyberbullying is that cyberbullying, they can remain anonymous, okay? Because they have these usernames and things like that to hide behind. It often occurs off school property where bullying is face to face, and it would happen on school property or, you know, or outside school property, but it's face to face. Where cyberbullying, it's kind of removed because it's not face to face. So again, cyberbullying, because they can remain anonymous, it might be people that you don't really, you know, students that you don't really suspect, or people that you don't really suspect. So again, you can see like the fear of loss of technology privileges versus like the more tangible privileges. And you know, the thing with cyberbullying is it takes away that empathy, where they're not having to see how someone else is reacting, so it's kind of a removed. So it's easier, that person did something to me at school today, but I'm gonna get back with them through social media because I'm too afraid to do it face to face, and now I don't have to see how I hurt them, or I don't have to have the reaction. So it's easier for them to use social media sites to bully. And then these are just some categories and terms, so we'll just kind of go through those just so you can know them, hear them, be familiar with them. So flaming is an online term that some people use like when they're doing those games, because kids do a lot of video chatting through games now too, and that's where they're kind of fighting back and forth through that. And again, you know, harassment is a term used in real life and on the cyber, okay? And the laws are trying to catch up, and we'll get into that further in the slides. The laws are trying to catch up with technology. So there are becoming more and more laws against harassment and cyberbullying. And again, cyber stalking. So now you have stalking in the real world, but you also have cyber stalking, where it's repeatedly sending those messages threatening to harm, okay? Makes a person feel afraid, you know, to come to school or to go certain places. This one, dissing someone online, so they can be spreading cruel gossip rumors to damage their reputation or friendships. Sometimes we get reports, a lot of that on, you know, Kick, where they're doing those, you know, messages so fast back and forth, and then other people get involved, so it can get really ugly. Again, we talked to the kids about this, that they really need to be careful about the pictures that they're posting online. Okay, a lot of times these pictures now are forever out there in cyberspace, and they can be used for other things where someone can be impersonating them, they can be doctored and altered, so they really need to be careful about these pictures that they're putting online. And again, just sharing someone's secret or embarrassing information that was told to them, they, you know, need to be mindful of who they are. And then just the physical threats is also a part of cyberbullying, saying I'm going to, you know, threaten to beat them up later, threaten to harm them in any way. This was kind kind of something that was going around, I know last year, where they're YouTubing these videos of people fighting, or they call it happy slapping, going up and hitting them and watching the reactions or punching them. So this is also considered that, even though it's a one-time thing, it's a severe, thing that was happening. So again, we kind of mentioned why cyberbullying exists, because it's not face-to-face. It removes that, having to see that person's reaction. So it removes that empathy factor, that we are all kind of taught growing up. So it minimizes that feelings of remorse. They do and say things that they most likely wouldn't have the courage to do or say in person. So these are just some statistics to share with you on how common it is. As we know, technology is growing and expanding. Again, it can be really helpful and wonderful, but again, then we have to keep up with keeping it safe, and especially safe for our children. So these are some statistics from Cox Communication, with 15%, this is 13 to 18-year-olds saying they've been cyberbullied. A lot of our kids, I know we have cell phones, and we do that for safety as well, out in the real world. But then again, it also comes with a responsibility, because then they have another technological tool where they can be bullied or harassed, or it opens them up to predators. So, teens say this cruel behavior takes place, and as you look, as Ms. Sims mentioned earlier, middle school, I think the legal age is at 13, mm-hmm. So 13 on, but I can tell you, I know 6th graders that have these accounts, okay, and that things happen on them, and as you see, 92%. So again, a lot of them have these. Twitter is the next, where bullying happens, and when being bullied, 65 of teens respond to the bullying, and 4.5 it's actually turned into a physical altercation, okay? So that's where also schools, we don't have a lot of control of what the technology they have at home or the sites that they're on at home, but it does come into the school, okay? And we try to do what we can, but we can only do so much. But again, parents remain, as you hear, oblivious. Only 10% are aware that their teens are being cyberbullied or are on these social media sites. Okay. So now, yes, things you can do to help.
Yeah, so now that we know what cyberbullying is, we're going to talk about ways to prevent it. And unfortunately, it is going to happen. So what we can do for the victim, what the bystander can do, and then also what we do for the bully as well, because we don't want to leave them out. We want to help them change their behaviors also. So being the parent, especially at this day and age, middle school, yes, this is the formative years where they're growing, and we're trying to let them have some sort of independence, and we want that for them. However, there needs to be a good balance, okay? You need to know their passwords to their email, to their cell phone, okay? If they have nothing to hide, then it shouldn't be a problem, okay? The minute you suspect something, please take the initiative to find out whatever's going on in your gut feeling, because usually you're right, okay? Also, monitor and limit their technology use. I'll give you an example. When I was in middle school, my parents took my phone away at night, and I would get it back in the morning. Until I got to high school, I didn't have my cell phone at night. Did I like it? No. Did it work? Yes. Okay, so that's how they monitored me. So just be aware, like Ms. Chamberlain said, of the social media trends, and just keep an open line of communication with your kids. Okay, the legal issues. Making threats or violence to people of their property, engaging in coercion, making obscene or harassing phone calls, harassment or stalking, hate crimes, sexual exploitation. These are all things that have a legal consequence now if it can be proven. So if your child does one of these things and it can be investigated, there will be a legal consequence now. If it happens on school, Okay, we do have an SRO on campus, Officer Barr. If it is given to him and he does have proof, he does have the opportunity and the ability to take action if it happens on campus. If it doesn't happen on campus and you find out, then we need you to make that call to the police department. Okay, I want to touch right here real quick, the sexual exploitation. And I go over this with 8th graders. We're starting this Thursday and Tuesday. We're going over sexting. Sexting now, a child, if they send a photo and whoever receives the photo opens it up and keeps it on their phone, and if they choose to send it on and it is turned into the police department, they can be charged as a sex offender, even at 13 years of age. That is a brand new law, and kids don't realize the consequences of sending a photo of themselves. Okay, so we highly, highly stress, please tell your kids, if they send it, and if they send it to one person, and that person says, I don't want this, and tells their parents or takes it to their principal, they can have a legal consequence and be charged as a sexual offender for the rest of their life. The effects of cyberbullying. If you experience your child, you know your child's demeanor. If you notice that they don't want to go to school, if you notice that they are sad all the time, if their grades are dropping, if they experience anxiety, let us know. Obviously communicate with your child and hopefully they open up to you. If they don't, let us know and we'll try to see what's going on with them. But if you see a change in behavior, there's probably something going on. Okay? Signs of victimization. Some children want so desperately to be accepted by their peers that they would rather be abused. Unfortunately, this happens in middle school. They're trying to figure out who they are, where they fit in. They might want to fit into this one group and they just take it and take it and take the abuse because they want friends so badly. Okay, it's sad, but it's true. And also some kids deserve that they deserve to be mistreated. They don't have that self-worth or that high self-esteem. And I'm just like, that's okay. I don't deserve to have good friends. What we talked about at the beginning of school, the bystander is our biggest hope for stomping out bullying. Okay, children see bullying going on a lot, okay? And if they can find the courage and the willpower to just stand up for that person, even if it's just walking up and saying, hey, that's unnecessary, or immediately going to tell a teacher, or coming to tell a counselor or an administrator, okay? We can put an end to that situation right there. But that moment that this child is witnessing bullying, they walk by, or they choose to laugh, what are they doing? They're egging on the bullying, okay? And then that's what continues to happen because kids they're scared, and we get that because they don't want to be taunted or bullied, and they're not going to. We want you to know if your child does report bullying, it remains confidential. So their name is always safe.
I think I was just going to mention this. An online, they can be online bystanders too to conversations or posts. And a helpful way to do that, to report that to, is to screenshot what's going on. That's helpful. Because sometimes they come and say things happen, but then they don't have the documentation for us to see it. So if you're, definitely they can be bystanders to messages. If someone's going to get hurt or harm themselves, to please report those incidences, and then things can be, screenshot and stuff.
Okay, again, children are the most frequent witnesses to cruelty, and also, adults. Y'all are around kids too. Even if you're at the mall, wherever you are, if you see something that is inappropriate, that needs to be stopped, you can be that person to stop that bullying. So we just encourage everybody to stand up for what's right. Okay, helping the bystander. Studies show that the most effective way to decrease bullying is through peer intervention. And like I said earlier, just a simple, hey, stop, that's not appropriate, okay, can be so impactful, okay, to the bully. Getting to the children to intervene requires a team effort on all parts. The counselor, the parent, the administrators, the teachers, we're all here to help, okay? We're here to help the victim, we're here to help the bystander and the bully. Okay? So helping the bully, we need to, generally, it's all about the victim. However, we need to identify the bully and help them realize that these behaviors are wrong. Okay, if we just slough it off and all we do is concentrate on the victim, what's happening to the bully? Okay, they're just going to continue because they don't know better. So we make an effort to dig deep into the problem, help them figure out why they're choosing to bully, and hopefully help them change their ways. Okay? Also specifying that there are consequences for inappropriate behavior, being consistent with the consequences, identifying specific behaviors that need attention, and then also praising the child's effort. Yes, they did something wrong, but when you see them do something good, we want to praise them. So hopefully they find that the positive praise outweighs the negative praise or negative consequences. And recognizing that the child may need professional intervention and assessing such help. Okay, what I'm going to show you, this is the most unfortunate thing and the hardest thing for any parent, teacher, anybody to experience. Unfortunately, due to bullying, children commit suicide every year. So the pictures that you see are just the faces of children who were bullied and harassed and couldn't take it and chose to take their own life. And usually it was from, the first one was verbal, but these were all through social media. Okay.
Or post through social media. So this one is Ask FN. So it's always constantly changing. So like they said, be familiar with the upcoming trends and what kids are using. And know to monitor your children and what they're posting or what they're receiving.
So on the right-hand side, these were the comments that Hannah received from the tormentors. Okay, so it is a reality that bullying is going to continue, okay? Whether they're the bullies or the victims or the bystanders. And unfortunately, these roles can change too. Okay, a kid can be a victim and then get tired of it, and then they can become the bully. Okay, so the main thing here, monitor your kids, keep an open-minded communication with your kids, and if you have a question or an issue or need help, we are all here. It's a team effort, okay? And yes, do y'all have any questions, concerns, comments? You want to add anything?
And we gave you all a little sheet to take home, so I hope you get that, and maybe after some of it soaks in, you can refer back to that, or you always feel free to call and talk to the school. If we don't have the answers, we'll definitely try to find them.
Well, we appreciate y'all coming out. Thank you. You're welcome.